Let's just get started right now. Okay, who here manages people right now? Hands in the air, anybody? Who here wants to manage people at some point in the future? Okay. And final question, who here doesn't ever want to manage anybody and people just really annoy them? That can be the group too. So I'm going to start off, before I get going, I think it's really important in the current day and age we live that you know who you're getting your information from, because right now we live in a day and age where you can get information from so many different people that oftentimes you have no idea if they're credible or not. So let's start off. I'll tell you guys a little bit about me. My name is Dave Fox. I am the founder and CEO of Focus Global Talent Solutions. Focus GTS is a niche IT staffing firm, and we focus on 3 areas of technology. Our first one is AI and data science. So if you just saw the speech, what they did. We also do digital marketing technology, which is obviously where the Adobe Experience Cloud falls under. And then we also do business intelligence and analytics. I started my staffing career in 2010. And it was a pretty interesting thing. I graduated in 2009 and moved to New York with a degree in finance. Really bad timing. You don't want to have a finance degree in New York in 2009 looking for a job. So I ended up getting a job in accounting. And honestly, although I like accounting a little bit, I hated it. It was not for me at all. And I'd worked in sales all throughout college. And I decided that I wanted to get back into sales. And strangely enough, I was recruited by somebody into this accounting job that I did. And I remember thinking I could probably do that. Little did I know that it was a lot tougher than I thought. So I ended up finding an ad on Craigslist. Probably not a good place to find a job in 2019, but in 2010 it was okay. I find this ad on Craigslist for a company that was one of the largest staffing companies in the world. They had just opened an office in New York City, and they were building out an IT banking team. So I was like, this is my chance to get back into sales and be doing something in finance. This could be a good fit for me. So I ended up joining this company, and we were placing the traders at banks. Or not the traders at banks, the people that built the trading systems the big investments banks used. Did really well there. I became one of their top people. And one day, I'm actually sitting across the table from one of my clients at JP Morgan Chase in 2012, and he says to me, Dave, have you heard of CQ before? Had no idea what it was. But I looked him in the eye and I said, I can definitely find somebody for you. I was very confident in myself, even at that point in time. And I remember going back to my office, and a lot of people think recruiters, we just stick stuff into a database and out comes the candidate, but that's not exactly how it works. However, a database is a good starting point. So I went inside my database and I started to realize that there was absolutely no one there. And I was a little bit concerned. And then I went on LinkedIn, and in 2012 at the time, I think there was 5 people with CQ on their LinkedIn profile. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I promised this guy's going to deliver. So I just started calling people, connecting with people on LinkedIn, and I noticed a trend. I ended up filling that job for JP Morgan way back in 2012, and I noticed a trend. This is what I noticed. Everybody was telling me that AEM or CQ back in 2012 was going to be the next big thing. People were making good money in this space if they were working as contractors or full-time, and it was incredibly difficult to find people. So I decided that this might be an opportunity for me to become the go-to expert finding AEM talent. And I went to my management, I said, okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to focus 100% on this. Will you guys back me? And they said, yeah, we'll back you. So I started what became the fastest growing startup in the history of the company I was working with, called the Specialist Staffing Group. And that was a little internal brand called Computer Future. Some people might have heard of that before. But that was how my journey into the AEM space started. So over the years, I've been staffing in that space since 2012. I've learned quite a bit, and I want to share with you guys some of the statistics that we see in that market for talent. So the first one, this is a little graph that I've put together, and it kind of shows the supply and demand of talent when you're dealing with a unique software product. So basically what happens, as you can see here, is the product comes to market. There's nobody who has any experience on it, and the demand increases. Then over time, the supply of talent increases, and we hit this point here called equilibrium. On the AEM side of things, we have been in this place that I like to call the gap for a long period of time, meaning that the supply of talent has never equalized the demand for talent. And that gap is made up by some statistics that I'm going to share with you right now. The first one is that there are 13 jobs for every single candidate that is looking for work. And that means, so if you're looking to hire somebody, there's 12 other companies competing with you for the exact same person. So much like Homer Simpson over here, these people are popular, and there's a lot of people chasing them. Second statistic, which really describes the gap, is this one here. And these are actually two statistics in one slide. The average position is open for 73 days. So we went and did a study on the market, and we looked at when jobs were posted online and how long they were open for, and found that the average role was open for 73 days. But the problem was that the average candidate's only on the market for 2 weeks. So again, this is the gap, okay? But I'm not here to tell you about how to acquire talent. I'm here to talk to you about retention of talent. And there's a specific reason why, and it's this statistic right here. The average candidate with Adobe Experience Manager on their LinkedIn profile receives between 5 to 7 solicitations from a recruiter or in other companies every single day. Now, that's where the turnover begins to happen. And what's really important to understand is you do have to understand the market. You need to understand how much people are paid. You need to understand what's important to the people that work for you. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand the deepest needs of the people who actually work in your team, you are going to really, really struggle to keep people. And what I'm going to share now is a little bit about my journey as an entrepreneur, because I went and started, so I moved down to Miami in 2017 to actually start an office for Computer Futures. I told them that I was moving to Florida, a couple of reasons. Tax situation's better, weather's better, and those are the main two. Tax situation's better, weather's better, and quality of life's better. And I was like, I'm moving down to Florida. They said to me, okay, Dave, if you're moving, we're going to have you open an office for us there. So I thought, hey, this is a great time for me to negotiate a sabbatical and travel around the world for a little bit. So I got a 10-week sabbatical that they gave me. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Dave, what type of person are you? You're telling us that you quit your job and started your own company, but right after they gave you a 10-week sabbatical, that's not exactly what happened. What happened was, much like these people here who get the 5 to 7 solicitations, I ended up getting a solicitation on LinkedIn from a guy who had started multiple recruiting companies in the UK and moved to Greenville, North Carolina to find a partner to start a business with. Now, I wasn't looking for a business. I moved down to Miami. I was looking for offices. I was very serious about what I was doing. But he was persistent, much like I am when I'm searching for people, and he kept at it. And I get phone calls, Skype calls. Finally, I decide, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit. I'm going to start a business. I'd always wanted to start a business, but there's never a good time, right? So I put in my notice at the beginning of November of 2017. At the end of November is my last day, and the plan is that this guy is going to come down, meet with me, we're going to interview people. He's bringing a whole bunch of computers that are going to be stored in my condo, and we're going to find office space and get this thing ready to go January 1st of 2018. But it's really, really important. Skype calls are great if you're interviewing people, okay? They're not great when you're looking at making a business partnership with someone. And needless to say, when the guy came down to Miami and I met him face to face, it didn't take me long at all to realize there was no way in heck that I was going to partner with this guy. Little bit psychopath might be the term that I would use to describe him. There was a lot of red flags, and I was like, I can't do this. And then I have the whole problem is the whole time he's trying to bring these computers into my place. And I realize if those computers get in there, I'm going to have to see this guy again. So I'm making excuses the whole time about why I can't get these computers into my condo. Finally, I tell him. He threatens to sue me. And I'm in a big situation now where I don't have a job, I don't have a business partner, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. Now, it ended up turning out okay. What happened was my wife, who actually had worked in real estate, we always used to compare our jobs because we're matching people to either real estate or jobs. So she decided to join me. And January 1st of 2018, we did start a business in the second bedroom of our condo called Focus Global Talent Solutions. And we just got some phones, inked the business, and got started. Now, we had no idea how to start or run a business. And this is why I'm going to share with you something that I learned about retaining talent through this journey that I think you'll find is really good. And I want you to understand that I didn't start in a place where I had any idea what I was doing. Here's a little bit more on what happened. So we ended up moving into a Regis office in that first year, and now we have a team of 12 people in a really great office in North Miami Beach, and the business has done very well. Now, we are in not a niche talent market, we're in a business where turnover is extremely high. Recruitment is a hard job. You call people, they don't want to talk to you, they hang up on you, they say go away, they don't understand the value that you actually have to offer, and it's like really, really hardcore sales. And the thing is that the turnover in that business is 50%. And what I can say is, thankfully, we've been very lucky so far. We haven't lost one person since we started our business 20 months ago. And what I'm about to share with you, I believe, has been very, very helpful in that result. Now, we have let go some people that weren't performing, but we haven't had anybody actually leave us, okay? So, again, no idea what I was doing, got into this business, and I stumbled upon an advertisement on LinkedIn in the first couple months that looked like this. It was Tony Robbins' Business Mastery event. And I was like, this looks like it could be exactly what I need. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's a 5-day intensive event in Las Vegas. And then there was a follow-up 5-day intensive event in Amsterdam that I ended up going to. And I honestly felt like I got an MBA in 5 days. It was like exactly what I needed at the time. But I learned something there that I believe is the key to retaining your AEM talent. And it is this. It is a psychological principle called the 6 human needs. And I'm going to get into this in 1 second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through them all. I'm going to tell you what they are. And then I'm going to tell you how, if you can detect these in your people, how you're going to be able to communicate with them at a much higher level that will actually meet those needs, and your turnover will reduce guaranteed. First, you have to know, like I said, you need to understand the market. You have to understand pay. You have to understand all these other things. But this is like a Jedi mind tricks. Understanding this, like, I know this is the last session of the day. Everybody probably wants to get to happy hour. You can practice this right tonight at happy hour and wait till you see the results that this is going to work. And if you do manage people, it's going to be valuable for you. If you don't manage people, it will be super valuable for you. And if you aspire to manage people, it'll be very valuable for you too. So let's get into what these 6 human needs are. So one thing I want you to know is that these are the 6 drivers that every single person has, and they determine every decision that you ever make, or anybody that you deal with decision. Any decision they make or way they act is dependent on them trying to fill one of these needs. So without further ado, let's get into this. Need number 1 is certainty or comfort. Okay, so every single person has a certain level of needing to know that they're going to be okay. They want to know that there's going to be food on the table. They want to know that they have a roof over their head. They want to know that there's going to be that next paycheck coming in. And if that need isn't met, people begin to get anxious. They begin to get fearful. They begin to worry. So need number 1, certainty, very important. Now, there is a lot of different ways that you can meet this need. Some people, just having a meal can make them feel certain. Some people seeing that next paycheck can make them feel certain. We're going to talk about the vehicle that meets the need in a few minutes, but certainty is need number 1. Need number 2, and now you're going to be like, Dave, are you crazy? Is uncertainty. And uncertainty means variety. So you're probably thinking, Dave, you just said certainty. This is very paradoxical. How can uncertainty be a need as well? Well, like I said, we all have a certain level of needing to know that everything's going to be okay for us. But if you know every single thing that's ever going to happen to you, life's going to be pretty boring, right? And that's why they say that variety is the spice of life. Now, people can achieve uncertainty or variety in numerous different ways. One of them might be food. We all know foodies that go out, try a bunch of different food. What are they trying to do? They're trying to reach that variety in their life. Other people jump out of an airplane. I don't know who would actually do that. I would never do that. But there's people that jump out of an airplane because of that rush that it gives them. We mentioned food. Strangely enough, food can actually also be used for certainty. Who knows somebody that's gone to the same restaurant every single time? So we have the people that go to a variety of different things, like to try things out. And then you have the person that goes to the same restaurant every time because they want to experience the exact same thing. They know the food's good there. They know the service is good there. And that's why they go there. So certainty number one, variety number two. So really quick, don't confuse the vehicle with the need. Tons of people can meet these needs in different ways. So I just said like food could be something that meets certainty. It could be something that meets uncertainty. Don't confuse the need, the vehicle they're using to meet the need, food, as the actual need itself. So those are the first two. Let's move on to number three. Need number three is significance. So this can be described as somebody needing to feel unique, feeling like they matter, feeling like what they're doing is important. People can achieve significance in a variety of different ways. Some people feel significant by, wearing really flashy clothing or driving a really nice car. Other people could be in the exact same financial position and they say, you know what, I don't need any of that stuff. That's not me. I'm a minimalist. Well, that person's trying to achieve significance by being different than everybody else and being unique by being in a great financial position and being a minimalist. So that would be the need of significance. Then we have love and connection, need number four. So we all know that we need to be able to connect with other people, to have relationships, to have love in our life. It's important, right? But what's really, really important to know about this one is, first off, most people will settle for connection over love because love requires somebody being vulnerable and being intimate, right? And most people are going to settle for connection because it's painful for a lot of people to really go deep. But the other thing that's really important here is the biggest way that a lot of people connect is actually connecting with themselves. We've all known that person who constantly has a problem, right? They constantly, every single time they talk to them, they're talking about what's going wrong in their life. That person is looking to connect with you with their problem. And when you tell them you don't care or you just ignore them, what they do is they go and connect with themselves because they feel that connection with themselves. Oh, this person doesn't care about my problem. And they go and connect with themselves. So that's love and connection. So those are the first four. What I want you to know is the first four of these human needs will make you feel good, but the last two will actually provide fulfillment. Okay? So the fifth need is growth and progress. Every single person needs to feel like they are making progress. This might be in your career, this might be financially, this might be academically, but people need to feel like they're progressing because if you're not growing, you're dying. We've all heard that said before. So really important. And the last need is contribution. People grow so that they can contribute and give something back. Now, this is where we're going to get into the real important stuff because you're like, okay, I get it. There's 6 needs. Here they are again. Certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth or progress, and contribution. Now, how does this pertain to you retaining your people? This is where it gets really, really interesting. Because every single person, although they need to meet all 6 of these, they have one primary driver that is the overriding thing that they're always looking for. And this is where it gets really interesting because if you can understand in the people that you manage what is the overarching thing that is really driving them, you can now influence them in the way that you want them to be influenced. So, how do you tell? Really simply, people will tell you with the language that they use. Here we go. So, If somebody is certainty driven, they're going to use words like stability, I need to know, I like things steady, I like security. They might talk about what if scenarios. There might be a lot of, they might be a worrier or a little bit fear-based, and they don't like things that are too risky. If that's somebody that you're dealing with, provide certainty for them. Let them know that it's going to be okay. Let them know that things are going to be stable and secure. Let them know everything's going to be all right. Take away the risks. And if you do that and speak to them in the language in which they understand, that person is going to feel fulfilled in their job. If they're an uncertainty-based person, you're going to be able to tell because they're going to say things like, I like working on different projects. They like a bunch of different experiences. They like diversity, adventure. Maybe they're someone who likes to travel a lot. They're open to new experiences. If this is your person, you need to make sure that they understand how they can meet that need in their line of work. And sometimes it might not be like that. You might be like, well, our team does a lot of mundane things. Well, get them doing some different tasks, something, so that they are going to feel fulfilled. Because if they're not feeling fulfilled, that's when people start to think about those 5 to 7 LinkedIn solicitations they're getting. If your person is significant driven, it's going to be, they're looking for achievement. They're going to be really, really concerned about titles. They're going to talk about goals, certifications, recognition, authority. They want to grow. Maybe they name drop significant people they know. They're all about solving problems. This is a significance-driven person. You need to make them feel significant, because if you don't, they're not going to feel fulfilled. If your person is a love and connection person, they're going to be all about the team, all about the culture. How do they connect with people? They care about who's on the team. They care about the environment, relationships, and the people matter to them. And what's really, really important with this person is conflict resolution is a must. They're that person that's like, I don't want to go to bed angry. They need to make sure that everything is cohesive and everybody is getting along. That's your love and connection person. If that's them, speak their language. Fill that need. If you are dealing with a growth or progress person, they want to grow, they want to advance their career. Maybe they want to attend a conference like this. And maybe it's not because they're trying to get out of work, but it's actually because they are a growth and progress driven person. They like receiving certifications. Maybe they ask for coaching, leadership, mentorship, development, anything like that. If that's your person, give it to them, speak their language. If they're a contribution-based person, they're going to say things like, I want to give back, I want to help out the team. They want to volunteer, they want to donate. They're about workspace improvement, boosting morale. Who wouldn't like to have somebody like that on their team? If that's your person, give them an outlet to feel fulfilled, and you're going to meet that need. So here's the deal. We've all heard this. People don't leave jobs, they leave managers. And I'm a person that's very progress and growth oriented. That's my primary need. I don't know about you, but the deck is stacked against you. And this is not just in the AEM world, this is in any niche technology. If you have a team of those people are constantly getting thrown other offers, other invitations all the time. And all it takes is one day where they're not feeling fulfilled, that they're like, you know what, maybe I will check this out. And it doesn't take long before there's someone like me that ends up leaving. So make sure that you're speaking their language. It's 5 to 7 solicitations per day. So like I said, if you're anything like me, use every single advantage you can get. This stuff will literally revolutionize the way you interact with your people. And if you can revolutionize the way you interact with your people, you will be a manager that they will love. And it will change the game. So with that, there's some information about me and what we do. And if anybody has any questions, I would be more than happy to answer those now. And then we can go and all enjoy happy hour.